In this series, we provide educational and inspirational content to help you during your journey in the legal world. I'm your host, Pauline Polek, and this is Legally Inspired. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. So, I am supposed to point at the bell, but unfortunately, I couldn't find it in my program. So let's imagine that I'm just pointing at the bell, down, down, down. So you don't miss a single episode packed with valuable information. In today's episode, we are going to discuss a very hot topic, a trial Depp versus Heard. So be careful not to get burned. Trial Depp versus Heard, and what is the defamation? Depp versus Heard was a civil defamation trial in the US which ended in June 2022. What was it all about? Plaintiff Johnny Depp alleged 3 counts of defamation against defendant Amber Heard, each claiming $50 million in damages. Heard filed a counterclaim against Depp claiming $100 million in damages. But first, let me put some light into the relationship and how it all started. Depp and Heard are both actors which were dating by early 2012, married in February 2015. Heard filed for divorce in May 2016 and obtained a temporary restraining order, alleging that Depp had been physically abusive to her throughout their relationship. The couple finalized the divorce in January 2017, with Heard receiving $7 million, settlement that she pledged to donate to charity. If you like this content so far, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. In 2019, Depp filed a lawsuit against the publishers of British tabloid The Sun for libel over an article originally titled "Gone Potty, How Can J.K. Rowling Be Genuinely Happy Casting Wife-Beater Johnny Depp in the new Fantastic Beasts film." The 2020 Depp vs. News Group Newspapers Ltd. included Heard testifying as a witness against Depp and ended with the judge finding that the great majority of alleged assaults of Ms. Heard by Mr. Depp had been proved to the civil standard. Civil standard? What does it mean, civil standard? It simply means that it judged on the balance of probability. So, contrary to that might be criminal trial, when the evidence has to be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. So we have, on one side we have balance of probability, and on the other side we have that something has to be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. In December 2019, Heard published an op-ed in the Washington Post in which she stated, without naming Depp, 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of the culture's wrath for women who speak out. I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. In 2019, Depp filed his defamation lawsuit against Heard, blaming the op-ed both for damaging his reputation and career and for causing him to sustain extensive financial losses. In 2020, Heard filed a counterclaim against Depp relating to 3 statements that Depp's lawyer, Adam Waldman, provided to the Daily Mail in April 2020.
Give it to me like
live-stream trial, Depp's lawyers attempted to disprove Heard's allegations that Depp had been physically or sexually abused her, representing her as the perpetrator rather than the victim of violence in the couple's relationship. We could observe live court full of objections, legal jargon, and eye-catching material. Are the Irish courts the same? No, they aren't. Heard's lawyers defended the op-ed as based in fact and protected by the First Amendment, namely freedom of speech. The trial attracted large numbers of viewers as well as considerable social media commentary, creating a circus-like atmosphere at the courthouse and generating a significant public spectacle. The majority of social media commentary was sympathetic to Depp and critical of Heard. Videos carrying the hashtags #Justice for Johnny Depp attained over 18 billion views on TikTok by the trial's conclusion. I will give you a lecture about defamation in Ireland. Defamation can be described as the wrongful publication of a false statement about a person, which tends to lower that person in the eyes of the right-thinking member of society, or tends to hold that person up to hatred, ridicule, or contempt, or causes them to be shunned or avoided by right-thinking members of society. Under the previous Defamation Act 1961, the tort of defamation was divided into two forms, libel and slander. So, as we could see, and I pointed out to you and highlighted when I was reading about Depp versus Heard, that that it was in relation to libel. So in Ireland it wouldn't be possible. So anyway, so libel and slander, the distinction was abolished by the Defamation Act 2009, and the tort was redefined as simply the tort of defamation, which consists of the publication by any means of a defamatory statement concerning a person to one or more than one person. In imposing liability for defamation, the courts engage in a delicate balancing act of rights, all the time mindful that sufficient protection must be afforded to a person's constitutional right to a good name, as contained in Article 40.3.2, while at the same time vindicating for constitutionally protected right to freedom of expression, Article 40.6.1. So, we have good name or freedom of expression. Issues of privacy and respect for personal dignity have often featured in policy decisions and legislation in the area, and the courts have to balance those competing rights when considering if something could be considered defamatory. Now, fact about Camille Vasquez, I hope that my pronunciation is correct, who was the solicitor representing Johnny Depp. She got a promotion, so she got really good news. She got a promotion to be the partner in her firm. Isn't it great? Oh, but she did awesome work, didn't she? Yeah, she did. And now I will mention the test, which is very important. Test. The test creates three elements for the tort as follows. So if you're writing an exam and you want to prove if something is defamation or not, if the situation that you are talking about is the defamatory or it is not defamatory, then you should include this test. The test creates three elements for the tort as follows. 1. There has been publication by the defendant, irrespective of the form or medium used. 2. Of a statement which makes reference to the plaintiff. And 3. Which is defamatory, meaning in the sense capable of injuring or lowering the reputation of the plaintiff in the eyes of the right-thinking member of the public. Elements of the tort. Publication. The false statement must be communicated to a third party. This is known as publication. An intentional publication is an essential element of the tort of defamation. Section 6, bracket 2 of the 2009 Act, publication by any means, Section 2 builds on this, describing statement as including a statement made orally or in writing, visual images, sounds, gestures, and any other method of signifying meaning. Next one, a statement broadcast on the radio or television or published on the internet. And next one, an electronic communication. Identification. The statement must refer to the plaintiff and clearly identify him/her for the purposes of ascribing the statement to them. And I'm not so sure if you remember when I was telling you about Amber Heard when she was saying that she was the victim of the abuse, she didn't name who the abuser was. So, the statement must be capable of being defamatory. In Quigley versus Creation Ltd., Walsh J. defined a defamatory statement as one which imputes conduct which would tend to lower that person in the eyes of a considerable and respectable class of the community as a whole. In practice, what it means is that the jury must assess what the words mean and whether the meaning applied to the plaintiff would cause members of society to think less of them. Defenses. There are 12 defenses available. I will list a few of them to provide you with some examples. 1. Justification, truth. So, if the statement, which somebody thinks is defamatory, but if this is the truth, this is good defense. It shall be a defense to prove that the statement was true in all material respects. 2. Privilege. 3. Fair comment, honest opinion. 4. Offer to amends. 5. Apology. 6. Innocent publication. 7. Consent to publish. I hope that you enjoyed my video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, and I hope to see you again. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!